Just Like Us for LGBT young people.
Hi, and welcome to the monthly Just Like Us podcast discussing what it's like to be LGBT+.
Hi everybody, it's Arbër. So firstly, before we begin the main topic we're speaking about today, we just wanted to provide a statement that Just Like Us has made in regards to the Black Lives Matter movement. Staff and ambassadors in the Just Like Us community stand in support of one another and in solidarity with fighting against anti-Black racism in the UK and around the world. We just wanted to say that Just Like Us takes a no-nonsense approach when it comes to racism. This episode won't be looking at the Black experience, but in future episodes we will be platforming the Black experience with individuals who have personally experienced racism in the UK, especially LGBT plus Black people.
You're listening to Just Like Us, the monthly show for LGBT young people.
Elly, how have you been doing the last week? How has life been?
Life's been interesting. So I've got a new job this week. So that's been the weird thing, is actually leaving the house every day for a week. For anyone listening in the future, we are still in partial lockdown due to COVID-19. It's been a wild ride of a week. How about for you?
Funnily, I've been really getting back into art. I did art at A-level, but I studied history at university, so I really didn't have time to start doing artwork again. But I've been getting back into printmaking and painting and all kinds of stuff. I've literally just been in my room consistently every day, just painting different things. So yeah, it's been kind of fun and actually
so cool.
It's actually been quite therapeutic as well, to be honest with you, because obviously what we're going through right now is quite difficult. So it's been really nice to just kind of express myself artistically.
You're listening to Just Like Us, the monthly show for LGBT young people.
So we are in the month of June, which is Pride Month, and we wanted to also speak about School Diversity Week, which is from the 22nd to the 26th of June. What we wanted to do with this is just kind of speak about our experience back in school. And I know me and Elly haven't been in school for maybe since sixth form?
A horrible amount of time.
Oh, it's not that long. Come on, we're not that old.
It's been 5 years since I left school.
Yeah.
But it's not actually that long. Yeah, so should we start with a little bit of background on School Diversity Week, 22nd to the 26th of June. Primary, secondary schools, as well as colleges in the UK, celebrate lesbian, gay, bisexual, trans, and plus people's identities and encourage equality in education. This year it's all online, so there's loads of interesting online content. So you can look at the hashtag SDW20 and check out JLU's social media and website for more information about what's going on. Do you want to start by discussing what your school experience was like?
School was weird for me. I really felt the need to conform. I wasn't doing the things that I wish I was doing. For example, I was really into art, but I felt because obviously art is considered a more feminine thing to do, for example. So I feel my secondary school experience was very much kind of coloured by me not doing the things that I actually wanted to do, but just doing things that people expected me to do.
I definitely can relate to that. I found especially my primary school experience was very open and liberal and encouraged diversity in a lot of ways, but not in terms of LGBT plus identities. And I think that was because there was this perception, especially I think it's improving now, but that in primary school LGBT plus education is not appropriate for that age.
And I feel we were in a post Section 28 society. For people who don't know, it was a piece of legislation passed in the 80s that basically prohibited speaking about LGBT plus kind of experiences and identities within the educational system. And we were in a system where teachers didn't know whether they should or they shouldn't kind of speak about it.
There was I think there was the hangover of what Section 28 had done, which is implied that LGBT plus education wasn't suitable for children. And I think still to this day there's people who will say children shouldn't be exposed to LGBT plus identities, which logically does not make sense. It diminishes LGBT plus people down to being explicit 18 plus rated people.
Completely.
But you're LGBT plus from earlier ages than that. I started to realise that I wasn't heterosexual probably around 12.
Same.
And it would have been really helpful at that time to have had some discussion about what it meant to be LGBT plus and countering of the homophobia that was going around, because the lack of teaching about LGBT plus identities didn't mean that kids didn't know about it. It just meant that they heard about it in negative contexts instead of having the discussions about how being LGBT plus is equal to everyone else and perfectly normal way to be.
Exactly. Totally agree. And I feel like we also need to just touch on the fact that like there's a lot of distrust, I feel, from the LGBT plus community for people in power, specifically in schools. I remember being in class and people being openly homophobic and openly discriminative towards me, for example. The teacher wouldn't scold them. The teacher wouldn't back me up. The teacher wouldn't make me feel safe. And I feel like it's a baggage that we have to hold. Do you know what I mean? It's a baggage that we have to live with.
Yeah, a lot of what we do as ambassadors is we go into the school, we give our presentation in the assembly, and then we leave, and we hope that it's made an impact. And I think what School Diversity Week does is that it's initiated by teachers as well as us as outsider assistants in helping them organise the events. But it shows that the school is on board and that, you know, their ethos is to express diversity and celebrate LGBTQ people and to just really, you know, explore that in more than one day a year, or give one assembly in a year and say, that's that done.
Yeah,
LGBT
exactly.
tick. It's it goes beyond just having us in for the session. It proves that their culture in the school celebrates LGBT plus people, and that's so important.
I do feel like we should also speak about the fact that although, you know, my school experience wasn't the best, there were kind of like standout people that made me feel better in school. I've been speaking a lot about art, but my art teachers were probably some of the most amazing women I've ever met, in the sense that they gave me that kind of environment to kind of express myself. And I did art at A-level, so then I started to kind of express myself a bit more and really come into myself and the things that I wanted to do. That's a great thing as well. Like in schools, you have these standout people that just make you feel that sense of representation. So I was wondering, did you have like those standout individuals that made you feel good in school?
I think for me, it was more my friends. I didn't come out to anyone until after I'd left school in terms of the adults in my life or just random people. But I was out to a few of my close group of friends. And I think the people that were so important to me during school were the friends who weren't necessarily LGBT plus, but who just embraced and acted totally in their stride when I came out to them. And when other LGBT plus people around me came out, they were so accepted by my friends. LGBT plus people don't have to struggle half as much if their allies and friends can create a great environment for them. And I think that was what I really appreciated at school and can see more and more of when I go into schools now, that it's becoming the done thing to be celebratory of diversity. Yeah.
You're listening to Just Like Us, the monthly show for LGBT young people.
So this month's Q&A question is, what is your favourite Pride anthem?
I don't want to be all cliche, but of course Lady Gaga, Born This Way, is the most iconic like LGBT plus kind of song that is out there. However, I feel like I've got so many artists that I just love and enjoy, especially like I'm a big R&B fan, like old school R&B, like 90s R&B, and so Destiny's Child is like my favorite all-time girl group. So like anything Destiny's Child, I know they're not LGBT, and I know they're not like, you know, their music hasn't been very LGBT, but their music is very inspirational and it is very motivational. Like I found myself throughout quarantine listening to Survivor and it's like motivational.
That is like an
unofficial
LGBT song.
Literally,
sure.
it's like I feel like Beyonce in her heart of hearts knows that we listen to that song and it's our vibe. So yeah, definitely Lady Gaga, but also Destiny's Child. But I feel like there's so much out there. What about you, Elly?
Obviously, as you said, we're all cliches, but Born This Way, Lady Gaga is an absolute classic. It's really great as well, because obviously it's not specifically LGBT. It's very, you know, all kinds of equality, speaks about race and gender and all kinds of things. But specifically that there's parts where she literally says gay, lesbian, bi, transgender. She says those words in the song.
Yeah.
And like, I can't think of another mainstream song where they say those words. And that's why it's amazing, even though it's a cliche. Also, I'm Coming Out by Diana Ross. Come on. I'm coming out.
That is iconic, actually.
I mean, before I came out to my family, I listened to that song on repeat the night before when I planned to come out to my family.
Absolutely did.
I was literally listening to it like, I know I'm a cliche and this is so like from a film, but like whatever, it's my coming out. I'm doing it how I want to. So I had some Diana Ross and that was amazing.
That's iconic, actually. That's not even a cliche. That's iconic.
Do you have a favourite LGBT artist?
there's so many to pick from, especially nowadays. But Troye Sivan, and I actually got into his music because he was a part of a film and he did a song for the song track, and that instantly got me hooked to him. And of course, you know, Sam Smith, they are an amazing artist as well, and the things they've done have been really amazing recently, especially in, you know, the fact that they've been able to express their individuality so well and just be themselves has been quite amazing.
Like someone being in the public eye, being well respected and saying, I would like to use they and them pronouns is like
Exactly.
really influential for a lot of people.
100%. Yeah.
Ben Platt, who is like not super famous, but he was in what was the film? Pitch Perfect. Yeah, he was like a minor character in that.
I know him. He has his own TV show as well on Netflix, I think now.
Yeah, he was in The Politician. But yeah, he's such a great singer. I saw him in concert actually, and like he's got some amazing songs with LGBT themes and just generally is great at singing. So
Amazing,
he's a definite, you know, recommend that you look him up. Hayley Kiyoko is amazing as well.
Course, yeah.
You know, she's wrote the song Girls Like Girls, which is iconic lesbian song.
And also Kehlani as well. Kehlani is the one. She is amazing. She's also bisexual as well, and she actually speaks very openly about being bisexual in her music as well, which is actually quite amazing because in the R&B, hip-hop kind of music scene, it tends to be quite homophobic and quite male-dominated, so the fact that she kind of incorporated it into her music is quite amazing. Also, Lil Nas X, my guy, is a rapper and is openly gay, which is amazing. I really do feel like we've got so many to choose from now. It's just really good.
I know, like, I couldn't remember, you know, I couldn't pick out any, you know, other than there was obviously some very iconic gay male artists, like, you know, Elton John.
George Michael.
But there wasn't loads of LGBT artists that I remember when I was growing up. And nowadays, you've got loads to choose from. And, like, you know, my playlists are just, like, full of LGBT plus people. Not even just in my LGBT plus music playlist, just in my general music.
Exactly.
You know, that's where we're at. But basically, if you want to hear more LGBT anthems, Just Like Us has put together a playlist of them. So, you know, with ambassadors submitting all our favourite Pride songs. And that's out now on all of our socials. You can find the links at the usual places and give that a listen.
You're listening to Just Like Us, the monthly show for LGBT young people.
Hello, I'm Isaac, and this is JLU's Choice. If you like The Sims, drag queens, both, or neither of those things, there is a good chance you will like Juno Birch's YouTube channel. Very often she'll play The Sims 2, in which she will create intricate locations and storylines, only to destroy them over the course of a 20-minute video. She's a very interesting character, and I think she's best summed up like this.
Hello and welcome to another one of my videos. Yes, that's happening, and it's going to be absolutely stunning. This is so stunning, isn't it? It's absolutely gorgeous. She's absolutely stunning, and she's a legend. It's absolutely gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. Stunning. Not so stunning, actually. Yes, that's happening. Gorgeous, that's happening. Her milkshake is going to bring all of the boys to the yard. Yes, that's happening. Gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. Absolutely stunning. Okay, that's stunning. That's happening. Stunning. Oh great, the girls have decided to start having a fight in the middle of the salon. Well, that's not very professional, is it? Can you stop it, girls? Oh yes, oh my goodness me, right, it has happened. Yes, that's happening. She just gave us minus stars, how very dare she? Right, her hair is getting wrecked, that's happening. Why is it thundering and lightning? Very frightening me. Galileo. Stunning.
You're listening to Just Like Us, the monthly show for LGBT young people.
One more thing that I think we should bring into this conversation is that from the 15th to the 19th of June is the Marmalade Trust's Loneliness Awareness Week. Being LGBT+, it can make you feel different. It can make you feel a bit alone.
Mm-hmm.
And we just wanted to share a couple of resources based on that. Switchboard is specifically for LGBT+ people, and you can talk about LGBT plus issues and have someone on the other end that's going to understand you. And Childline is just generally for young people, but equally will help you if you're feeling like things are difficult. And if you're looking for something specific, like if you're wondering if there's a LGBT plus youth group in your area, a lot of them are running by video call at the moment. just contact Just Like Us. You can go on our website, send us an email or a message on our social media, and we'll let you know about local resources that might be available. Yeah, but I don't want to end on the loneliness note, because I think that although it's something that a lot of us are probably struggling with in isolation, LGBT plus life is not a lonely life. It gives you a point of connection with people that has really helped me find close bonds with people I never would have expected.
We hope you enjoyed the conversation that we had on loneliness and School Diversity Week. We hope you have an amazing month. Try to keep positive and stay safe.
Keep an eye on our Instagram, our Twitter, our Facebook at Just Like Us UK. We're posting like little challenges on there, little things you can submit under our hashtag SDW20. We will see you in next month's podcast.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
You've been listening to Just Like Us, the monthly show for LGBT young people. The music was by Twisterium. We come into schools too. Young people, teachers and parents can find us at www.justlikeus.org.